Here's Smashing Pumpkins 33. A couple things before I go into it. Tuning is different. I do a double drop D, so high E tuned down to D. I'm sorry, low E tuned down to D. And high E also tuned down to D. A string is tuned down to G. I'm going to talk through it. I'm not going to sing, but I'm going to talk the lyrics through you on some parts because it gets a little confusing for me to explain unless I'm actually playing it. So I apologize about that before we begin. And here we go. Intro. I'll play it for you first. This is the first part of the intro, and throughout the song it reoccurs, as does the second part of the intro. So we're going to call this Intro 1. Okay, that's Intro 1. That's 5 on the D string. 5, 4, 5, 7, 5, 4. Okay, and when you play Intro 1, you're going to hit A string, obviously the D string. I mute the G, B and the E if you really want to. The E string, low E, should be muted throughout, but that's why I dropped it to D, because every once in a while I forget to mute it or it just slips out and it doesn't sound as bad as if it was tuned to standard E. So here we go. That was Intro 1. Intro 2 is 5, 4, 5, 7, 9, 7. So Intro 1, 5, 4, 5, 7, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 7, 9, 7. That's Intro 1 and 2. Okay. Now the verse is made up of 2 chords. It's chord 2. We're going to call them chord 1 and 2. And then at the end of chord 2, you throw in Intro 1. So, here's what the verse sounds like. Well, let me try to play the chord first. Chord 1 is E's muted, A and D on the 5th fret. Got your G string, B is open, your B is on 3, and your high E. Chord 2, E is muted with the pointer finger, which is also pressing on the A, 2nd fret. I also tend to mute the D string, same finger. G is open, B is on the 3rd fret still, and E is open. Okay, so here we go. Verse, chord 1 of verse. Chord 2 into Intro 1. And together that is like so from the intro. That's pretty much the entire chorus, verse. So I'm going to start kind of talking you through the lyrics as I play it again, because it tends to get very confusing. I'm going to start it with the last line of the first section of verses, which is, as the cluttered streets greet me once again. That starts on chord 1. As the cluttered streets greet me once again. I can't be late. Chord 1, 2. Now, Intro 2. Summer's waiting on chord 1, table. Intro 1. Tomorrow's just an excuse away. Chord 1, chord 2. And then Intro 2. So I pull my collar up and face the cold. Chord 1. Intro 1, then back to the verse. The earth has been my living feet. So then you go through that as the blasphemy, blah 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 blah, and then it goes to the sun is out and up and down again. After that line, the bridge, we'll call it bridge 2, is different than the last bridge we just did. So sort of from the sun is up and down again. So the sun is out. Sorry, the sun is out and up and down again. Now this is intro 1. Right into the second intro. Back to intro 1. Graceful swans chord 1. Topple to the earth, chord 2. Okay. Then back to intro 1. I've journeyed here and there and back again. Go through that part, and then my notes here. Then the last bridge, which is after sympathies not ready to return. Start from there, chord 1, and sympathies not ready to return. Intro 2. Okay. Again, figure intro 1. Graceful swans. And from here, you're going to change. You're going to go up to a new chord here. You're going to take these two fingers, ring and pinky, on the 7th fret, A, 7th fret, D, 7th fret. I'm just going to play A and D on the 7th, open G, open E. That's topple to the earth to chord 1. So we'll call this chord 3. Topple to the earth. Tomorrow's just an excuse. Tomorrow's just an excuse. And you, intro 1. When you actually go into that after tomorrow's just another excuse, it's like you can make it last. The only part that I didn't put in, that I missed, is actually prior to the 3rd verse. Prior to I've journeyed here and there back again. There's a section, call it a breakdown, where it says, and for a moment I lose myself. That's just chord 1. And for a moment I lose myself. It's chord 2. Wrapped up in the pleasures of the world. So hopefully that does it for you. If you have any questions or any corrections, please feel free to send them to me. Thanks.